complete that notes I will upload today. So yeah, end-to-end authentication example. This example I given you, but I will upload this today because in the registration form we need to add some validations. So registration login form, we can add some validations and you can handle them. So that is the reason to handle the validations for registration form. So we will use this. Let's take the API here, start the API backend application. So start the API here. So node API.js. CD server. Yeah, node API.js. So server started. Okay. And our MongoDB is running fine. Okay. Now let's open the registration form. In the registration form, we need to set some validations. In the registration form, we need to configure the validations for username, password, confirm password validations, how to define them. So generally, to configure and define validations, because if it is valid, then it should submit the form. So let's go into the design. First one, so when user clicks the register button, it should verify the details. And if any field is mandatory, we need to ask them to enter all the fields. So what we will do now, so we will create here on register button click. So we are posting the details. So here we are posting the details to this particular location. We are posting the details. We are collecting and posting the details. And I told you that we will verify the validations also before posting the details. We will verify the validations also. On register button click, this AJAX post and registered successfully login HTML, that should happen when registered successfully. So for that, we need to write validations. So when register button click, this post should happen only if it is valid. If not valid, display some error messages. Then how you can configure validation, how you can design the validation. Let's see. First step, what you have to do is, for this username is mandatory. All are mandatory. All fields are mandatory. So we will write a logic here. This where user is the variable, you are collecting username, password, email, and mobile from these text boxes. Now what I will do is, so I will write a condition here. So that means if username is having a problem, we need to display that. Suppose I will give mandatory field. If user.username is equal to empty, that means it is not provided. And what should happen? If username is empty, what should happen? We need to define the option. That means, for example, so we will create here. We can see, I will create here in the design. Let's go to the design, and here we will put a div to display the error message. We will put a div there. For error message, we will put a div. Below that username, let's add a div. So I am adding a data definition, and I will put class as text danger, and I will keep here ID as user error. Okay. In that, we need to display a message. That means here we need to configure the message. So $hash user error .html. We need to display user name required. This message we need to display. If username is entered, so if username is entered, then this post and the rest of option should happen. We have to put this logic in else. In the else block, we are writing it. This is defined for username. We are configuring. Already we know we have to write multiple conditions. In the beginning of JavaScript, I told you multiple conditions how to write them. If username is valid, then verify the password, confirm password. We need to check all of them. That means we need to display this. We need to display this. So see what we are doing here. So we are going to verify the details and submit the details. You see, without entering the username, when user clicks the register button, it should say username required. That is working fine. Very good. Now, once user finished typing the username, one more work we have to do. We can do all the logic part here. When user is typing, I have to verify is that username is already taken or not. Because username must be unique. If already that username is taken, it should not allow. It should show a message. Whether that username is already taken or not, we have to verify. While typing itself, we have to verify that whether username taken or not. That means we have to get from the database and check it. That example already I showed you without database, hard coding some data, we have learned it. Now we have to verify with the database. That's how generally in real time it happens. That means while typing that username, I need to verify. So what we have to do now is, so when user is typing, get the user information, observe carefully here. So this username field, when they are typing, while typing, I will write a logic here. That means we will configure a simple logic here, right? We are defining a logic here. So that is hash. So username, we will write a condition key up. Key up is a function. So that means while typing, we have to collect all the users' data. And verify. To collect all the users' data and verify, we need to create an AJAX call again, $AJAX. So here we need to use URL. So URL is http:// or 127.0.0.1:8080 get users. From here, you can get all the users information. Then method is on get request, and success. We will use a callback function. We will collect that data. We are going to collect the data and verify that username is already taken or not. Whatever the username we are typing, that username is taken or not. So we have to collect the username entered in text box. So we have var username. So here we need to access hash username.val. We are collecting the username entered in text box and storing that here. We have to verify. So whether that username is available in that data or not. That means what we have to do is we have to write a for var user of data. and every user information we can collect here, and we have to verify that, or we can simply use that $each because it is jQuery. We can use $each. We can pass the data. It uses a callback function. It will get the key and it will get the value. That means here we are verifying. So if value dot username is generally matching with the username you are entered, so it is matching with the username, then we have to get hash user error dot html. Here we need to display a message saying that, so username taken, try another, this message should come. Username taken, try another, this message should come. After that, we need to set a break. Else we need to display is a message. So, and here hash user error dot html. So username available, username available, that message should come. You can apply styles also. That means you can apply CSS, and we can define the CSS name. You can configure color and what is the value. So that means the value I can define as suppose green. So that is the color name and value you are configuring. We need to configure that as an object. We already know that, right? That means we need to configure this as an object with a key and value reference. So that is how you can dynamically apply the option and configure that. We need to display this. This is verifying from the database. When user is typing, we have to verify from the database. That means when user clicks this register, then it says, so it should say username is taken, and it should display that. And when user is typing, it should get that message and display. Some error is there, illegal break statement, where we have used illegal break. Okay, here we are using illegal break statement. Okay, now initially username is required. I am typing here. So let's type here. So it should, while typing, it should say username is available. And suppose underscore, so NIT. So it is displaying username available. Now, generally, when you are defining this username available and configuring this username available, here it is not displaying that message and option because it has to handle this issue. That means if username is taken, it should define. If username is taken, it should define. And if not taken, it should generally display that available. Actually, user's data is coming or not. First, we need to verify that. Available, so it is showing, but actually observe http://localhost:/8080/get users, and this is the username. And you can see the username is available. It is showing correctly. There is no problem in that. David NIT is there. But if I type any another username, like say John_NIT, so that it should say taken. It should display taken. So it is unable to handle that because it is unable to break this and it is unable to come out of this situation. Now in a general each loop, so we have to use the break condition. Already this we learned. In a general loop, we have learned. So already we know that. Now, why this break is not working for jQuery each loop? Because depending on which each loop you are using, actually, when we are writing the conditions, handling the conditions, and we are defining the conditions to execute certain operations, very important is when you are using a iteration and we have to come out of that iteration. Break is suitable in general for loops and all, but in each, because it is a jQuery method, this each cannot break out. It requires an option. It requires an option that is return. We need to use the option return, and it needs to return true or false. So return true or false. That means if I say return false, that means we have configured true or false, return false. Now here, when we define registered username and I am typing username is available. So, and I say David, so David 1, then it says username is taken, try another. It is taken, try another. It is displaying that. And actually, so we are applying that by using a class here. We are applying by using a class because I defined a constant class. So I defined a constant class here. We are configuring a constant class here. So for the message, so the class is, we are applying here. We are configuring the class text danger for that. We are applying a constant class for that. So I'm not using the constant class for that. Now you say username is required. I entered, so then it is green color. Username is available, John. So 1, 2, so it is available. John _ NIT, it is taken. Now it should change into red color. It should change into red color. You can dynamically change it. That means what you can do is in the logic, you need to configure that. So here we need to specify. Here in the logic, we need to specify that. So let's go here, and this is while typing. If it is invalid .css, that means this is not for confirm. Here we have to put it. Here we are writing the logic. Yeah. Here we have to put that CSS .css, and we need to put color. So color as so the color as red. So this is color, and we will give that as red color. That is the effect we need to configure. Now remember, this is verifying username is required. On button click also by default, if you want, you can directly apply the color. On register button click, when it is not empty, where is empty, you return here not empty. That also you put CSS, and you can put color, and you can put red. That means on register button click, if it is empty also, red color should come. That will be better. And I am typing the username. So say John, it is available. John _ NIT, that is taken. It should be replaced with that. And we need to change this color. That means that username color, you need to keep it empty first. That means we need to clean up the CSS, and we can apply the CSS. Instead of writing the style, let's put this. You can put a class name also. Instead of writing the style, you can put the class name. I am typing here, John is available _ NIT, it will be red color. You can use class name also. Suppose John NIT 1, it is available. It will display that message. This is live. We are verifying from the database. Suppose we have the username Kiran, it is available _ Rao, then it says it is taken. So it is taken. So we can configure in this way. This is very important. The validations are very important. We need to configure the validations. For that, actually, whatever you have learned in HTML, JavaScript, you have to implement that. So at this level, I don't need to explain how to write validations. Actually, you must be able to do by yourself, but some conceptual concepts you need to understand correctly. That is the reason I'm giving you that point. So that is the reason I'm explaining that process. How that happens, I'm explaining that. Now, how you write for password. While typing password, we can check whether the password is strong, whether the password is weak, whether the password is poor. based on regular expression and verifying it. And how to password and confirm password, both of them. While typing password and confirm password, regular expressions, verification of password, giving strong and weak while typing. I hope you people can try now. You can try by yourself, right? You can try that validation while typing the password, checking the password strong, because already we discussed that you have to just implement that logic here, right? While typing the password, verify with regular expression and check and display. Password, confirm password. So we need to verify. Yesterday I told you 2 options are there. Generally you can verify string with a double equal, but that is not good recommended. You can use local compare. You can use local compare. This is best. So, but local compare, you need to verify whether it is returning -1 or whether it is returning 0. If this is best way actually to verify, this is the best way. If it is returning 0, if it is returning 0, that means it is matching. If it is returning -1, that means it is not matching. Already I told you that is for comparison actually. Better use that technique here. So what you have to do here, already I showed you yesterday on blur, what should happen. That means when it is blurred, so confirm password. So you return a logic here. Yeah. We are collecting the password. We are in the confirm password. We are using local compare. And if it is matching with 0, so matching with 0, that means it's okay. That means verified successfully. This message should come. Otherwise, we have to put a message saying that password mismatch. We need to say password mismatch. And let's put a CSS here. Let's put a CSS here, and we put color. So this color as red color. We are so green color. We will put a green color for this. And password mismatch, that means you have to put a color here and keep the color as red color. Keep the color as red color. And you see that is displayed there. Now I am entering, the username is required. I entered that username. It will show whether it is available or not. It is available or not. And password I am typing David11, and confirm password I am typing some David, and it says password mismatch. And I am typing David11 correctly, then verified successfully. If anything went wrong, that means here whatever you entered, this is mismatch. Suppose David11, and here we are typing David1, that is mismatch. David11, that is successful. It will check that, and it will verify, and it will handle it. So that is generally how you can handle the validations and work with the validation. For email, already I told you validation for email. If you remembered, I told you index of @ we can verify by using email. You can write the validation by yourself. Mobile also, I hope you can write by yourself. Mobile validation is nothing but what we have to do. Mobile validation, we have to work with a regular expression. I hope rest of things you can try by yourself, huh? Because already we learned all these validation part. So rest of things you can handle by yourself. Yeah. You can write a regular expression and verify that, right? Yeah. So this is very important, especially when you are dealing with, so remember, this time we are accessing the data from the backend database. We are verifying it just like how Google people do, how other websites do while you are registering, all such things that we have done. So that means this is verifying data from the API and checking whether that is there or not. And any new details you registered, they will be added into it. So, and they will be verified again. For example, David12 is available. So here you have David1. So David12 is available. So password is verified successfully. David12@gmail.com, and mobile for David. I entered some mobile number and click on register, then registered successfully. It should go to the login page. and I am again registering a new user. David is available. David 1-2 is taken. Now it is refreshed with the new option also. 1-2 is taken because in the list that David 1-2 is there. The new person registered with that name. For the next person, if he's trying that name, it's not available. 1-2-3 is available. 1-2-3 is available. This we are verifying from the database, checking from the database and handling that. That's how generally we need to configure this. And David can log in with his password. That means David password is David11. That means I have already an account. Then you can log in with David12 and David11. So suppose any wrong credentials, invalid credentials, David11 login. So is any, I hope the password is David11. Okay, David12 and David11. That is the login, and it should get to the details and display. That is generally how you handle. Only one additional thing you have learned is, here is working with the local compare of string, how you can compare regular expressions and rest of other concepts are similar. There is no change in that regular expressions and all. And one more key concept is you need to understand here is how we can terminate the loops and break. Because that return false is very important, because break statements will not work in $each like looping control in jQuery. JavaScript, they will work. In jQuery, in JavaScript also you can use return false. That is okay. That is a common approach we follow everywhere. This is a complete concept of how we can create a registration form with some validations. And other validations, you people can try by yourself, right? Other validation. These are the main concepts. I will give an example here. So this example I will post into the classroom today. You need to practice this complete end-to-end application. So this is register form with validations. Register form with validations, and this is the registration form. This is the registration form. Now, one more important in the server side technologies, what you have to understand is actually while working with Express and server side technology, one more point is there. So we have to understand how we can configure static files. Serving static files. Serving static files is important. This is important that we have to learn as an extra part. Serving the static files we need to learn here. That is important in middleware. In Express we have to learn. That means serving static file is nothing but generally what happens is when user makes a request for any website. Usually what happens when user makes request for any website, directly index page should come. Automatically it should launch that page. From there we can handle the operations. That means so Express uses static file module to serve the static files on request. It uses that module for serve the static file on request. Now the point is how the static files are served, how you configure the static files and define the static files. That is important. Actually, to configure the static files and define the static files, so you have to use the option use static. That means you need to use a method called use static. That means generally application comprises of various static resources like you can have like HTML, text documents, images, etc. All these comes under static resources. So this all comes under the static resources. And we need to provide access to the static resources. That means we can use express.static method, which is used to access the static files and return the static files. So it can configure that and it will allow to handle that. So that is one basic important thing. That means you see here, let's go to the part, API part, or just go into this API now here. Yeah, let's stop this API, fine. And here I'm creating in this project. So we have this project. So we have some files present inside this project. So what we are doing is, this is the server side code. We have a folder. That means in this project, we will maintain all the static resources. That means what we are doing is, we are adding a new folder. And the folder is public. Public is the new folder. And in public folder, you can add your images, your contents and all. In that folder, we have a page called index.html. This is the page that you design actually. Now in this index.html page, what we do, doc type HTML. HTML had some title and yeah. And here we are defining index page, or say shopping index. And here what we need to do is just put a body. Actually, this is our index page. So shopping home. And from here we can put links for, so new user. So we can put, that is new user href is equal to some register.html. We have to add that page and configure that. Another one is href is equal to login.html. That is have account. So that means, so then login. New user, then say register. So these like options are configured just roughly. Now what we do is, we design our index page like this. And whenever we start our application, we want our application to start with this index page. We want the application to start with the index page. Then what we have to do is, we have to create, so server.js. So this is the folder. Here we need to configure the server. How we can configure the server? So var express is equal to require express. And now we have to create an app is equal to express. And now here we need to just define app.use. So express.static method, and it will define the root folder. Which folder? Public folder. That means access the resources from that public folder. And app.listen, listen on some port number. Suppose 3000 is the port number. Any number you can give. Then console.log, we will put a message, server started. And this is, so http://localhost, and port number is 3000. When I request this, automatically public is the folder. In the public folder, if index page is present, it will be used as a static page, direct startup page automatically. So what we have to do now, so start that server, cd public, and here we say node server.js. That means it says server started, open the browser. In the browser, we are requesting this now, localhost 3000, and hit enter. It has to get that index page. Now, very important, that index page, in order to get the index page, so this static page have to serve. That means where you keep this also important. This server.js is present in the public folder. It is present in the public folder. You configure that in the public folder. Suppose I shift this outside the public folder. I'm moving it outside the public folder. Generally in public folder, we will keep all static resources. Now here we need to run node server.js. That means outside. And I am requesting this now. It gets that home page and display. In public folder, you need to keep only the static resources. The dynamic resource we need to keep outside. In some other folder you can keep. Now it should use this public folder. In public folder, you don't need to tell the page. So if it is index page, there already we learned that every website will have an index page, and automatically website will start with that index page. It can access that index page and it can use that index page automatically. Now, when we have this index page ready, now what you can do, when user clicks on register, you can add a registration form and open it. When user clicks on login page, everything you can maintain in one location now. Everything you can configure in one location. That means here you have to install your jQuery, Bootstrap and everything. And we need to maintain that entire environment so that from here user can register, log in, view the details and everything. This is how actually a complete application is built. This type of environment now you are going to see in React and Angular like technologies. You are going to understand and handle in React and Angular like technologies. This environment you will see. And consuming and working with the APIs, you will find that now step by step. For that, we need to first know this process, how to configure the static files and how do we handle. So here what we have done is, so example, what we have to do is add a new folder public. So with index.html, then add server.js in your backend application root folder. In the root folder, you need to add it. Now in that server.js, this is the logic we have to write. So we need to configure express static. So from here, user can access other details. This is the logic we need to configure. That's the logic we need to define. And the rest of the contents will be delivered automatically. That means now if user request home page should come. When user request electronics page should come. Such options we need to manage actually. Generally, what we do is for that we have to create an API path. Routing already I told you, we need to configure the routing. For example, now what we are doing here, so app.get, if it is slash some electronics, or we say slash register, that function. So request and response. And here we need to define, I want this to redirect. So response.redirect, we have redirect to which URL. You need to configure that URL. That means here it should redirect to the location. That means which page. For example, I given like some register.html page. So I given that register.html, and suppose there is a register.html page in the public folder and put here as register new user. Actually, we will have a form there. Now let's run this application. And you see when I request this here, so home page comes. When I click on register, then it should get me to the registration form. It can get me to the registration form. Or actually, when you are handling redirection, generally when you are handling redirection, suppose if I define here redirect/register, this /register is a route path actually. This is a route path. /register is a route path. It should redirect to that register path. We have configured a route path. Actually, redirection must be to a HTML page. We need to configure an HTML page. So that means it should redirect to register.html. It should redirect to register.html, and In the URL, actually, in the URL, you see index page URL. Here I am just using, suppose I am configuring localhost. That means localhost slash colon some 300 and 3000. And here we say some register. That is the route path actually. This is the route path, http:// like this. But not required that just the page name is enough to configure, not required to define this. But important is when you open that index page and click on registered, then it will get to the registration form. You can define in any way. You can configure this path because it is going to return you the register.html page only, or you can directly mention that register.html page. Later, when you see advanced concepts, you will see better routing technique and handle with the routing technique. This is one general example of how we can configure a application that can serve the static files and handle the navigation. Everything you can add in this now. Everything you can configure in this now. This is index.html. So this is index.html. So index.html, we are adding this logic. So that's how we are configuring. And we need to keep a path defined for that. So that means in server, we need to add this path additionally to access that file and return it. That means in the URL, you need to configure that. So in the URL, you need to configure that. Additionally, you need to define that extra, that's API. This is how our application is configured with static files. We can access them and we can use them directly with a request. This is all the basic approach. So for designing a complete end-to-end example for authentication with validations and all. Right. So now you need to practice this. You need to try this, how to handle and work with that. Now, once you are good with this, now you can start working with React. So now what we have to do is we have to start learning React and Angular. These two concepts are there. So for that, actually, for React and Angular, you have to attend separate React and Angular, because for you people, so in the beginning, so we already mentioned that we will teach you complete React and Angular part. That is the reason it will take separate sessions to attend. You have to attend separate React and Angular batches. Separate React and Angular batches. From the new batches, we removed that. So no more React and Angular for new full stack batches. Only your batch will be the last batch with React and Angular also. So you can utilize that. Now for other batches, we removed that. So no more React and Angular. So here you have to attend separate sessions for that. Now this class is done here. Now what you have to do is you have to attend React and Angular separate batches. That is free for you. Because already in the beginning itself in this course we included that. But you have to attend separate batches in the various timings. Our admin will give you them. You have to attend that. So React batch. Currently I am starting the React batch 7 a.m. right? 7 a.m. we have a React batch. 7 a.m. And Angular batch in 1 week, we will decide that Angular timing. You can attend both parallelly or you can attend one after another. 7 a.m. React batch. So you have to attend 7 a.m. React batch from Monday onwards. Okay. From Monday onwards, you have to attend React batch separately at 7 a.m. Right? There you will learn complete React and complete Angular also provided to you. That is another batch you have to attend. That link will be sent by our admin. Okay. Our admin will send that link to all our people. Okay. I will share that link also in our classroom, Google Classroom. I will share that link. So from Monday onwards, you have to attend these batches separately. So once you finish Angular and React separately, if you have any doubts and all these topics, then we will have a session of conclusion, means what doubts you are having and all. We will take an overview of all of them. Okay. So from tomorrow onwards, we don't have session in this time. It's done with this. You have to attend separate React and separate Angular. Okay. Separate React and separate Angular. You have to do with that. Right. And so with React and Angular separate batch, you will finish all your full stack concept. Okay. And any doubts, any options are there, I will, at the end, I will take another session for clarifying all these full stack related summary. One overview I will give, just like a revision, I will conduct a review, you can handle it. Okay. So then tomorrow onwards, no session at this time. And you will learn Ionic introduction and all in your React only. Okay. In React, you will learn about that. Everything you will learn in React and Angular. Whatever other topics are there, you are going to learn there. Understood? Whatever other topics are there, you are going to learn there. Okay. So whatever other topics are there, you are going to learn there. In those concepts, you are going to handle them. So from tomorrow, no session. Monday, React link and Angular link will be sent to you. Angular link will be sent in 1-2 days later. React link will be sent to you. You have to attend that batch. Okay. Right. So Monday we will continue with this now. From tomorrow, no session at this time. You have to attend those 2 batches separately. Okay. And if you have any issues, you contact admin.